All right, today we're diving into a whole new frontier in digital defense. I want you to forget about static walls and simple passwords. We're going to talk about a security system that actually thinks, that predicts, and adapts to keep our digital world safe. Just think about it for a second. Your family photos, your private emails, all those important work files, almost everything that makes up our digital lives now lives in the cloud. It's become this huge shared digital space for, well, pretty much everything.
But all this convenience, it begs a really critical question. As we keep trusting more and more of our sensitive data to the cloud, are the digital locks we're using actually strong enough to keep the bad guys out?
And that, right there, brings us to the core of the problem. You see, the very foundation of our cloud security, that traditional login you use every day, is often the weakest link in the entire chain. Now, the official term for this is authentication. It's just the process of proving you are who you say you are. Every single time you log in, you're authenticating. You can think of it as the digital gatekeeper that stands between your data and, well, the rest of the world.
We usually prove who we are in one of three ways: with something we know, like a password, something we have, like a code sent to our phone, or something we are, like our fingerprint. But here's the huge flaw. Relying on just one of these is like putting a single simple lock on a bank vault. Attackers have become absolute experts at picking each one of these individually.
So, how do we build a better lock? Well, this is where the first part of a much smarter solution comes into play. Instead of one breakable key, this new research proposes a digital lock that needs 3 different keys, creating a way more robust form of multi-factor authentication. As you can see, this creates these distinct layers of security. First up, your password. That's something you know. Then, you've got answers to security questions, another thing you know. And finally, your fingerprint, something you physically are. By forcing an intruder to have all 3, it becomes exponentially harder for them to ever break through that gate.
But you know what? A strong lock is only half the battle. What if your security system could actually see an attack coming before it even happens? This is where the second component comes in, an AI that acts like a futuristic watchtower, constantly scanning the horizon for any sign of a threat.
Now, the brain of this whole operation is a specific kind of AI called a hybrid CNN transformer model. You don't need to get bogged down in the technical details. What's really important to understand is that this AI is custom-built to analyze all the traffic on a network and spot the super subtle patterns that signal an impending cyber attack. The reason this AI is so incredibly effective is because of its hybrid design. As the research points out, it combines 2 totally different AI architectures. It's kind of like having 2 experts on your team. One is amazing at spotting patterns right here, right now, while the other is brilliant at seeing the big picture develop over time. When they work together, you get a highly accurate threat detector. Okay, so we've got a super strong lock and an AI watchtower. The final piece of this puzzle is a defense that isn't just a static wall. No, it's a shape-shifting shield that actively changes its form to counter whatever threat the AI sees coming. This brings up the big question, right? It's one thing to predict an attack, but what does the system actually do with that information? How does it respond in that split second when it matters most?
Well, the system kicks on what the researchers call adaptive cryptography. Just look at this table here. If the AI predicts a phishing attack, boom, it deploys a specific kind of encryption shield. If it spots a brute force attack, it instantly switches to a different, more powerful shield. The key idea here is that the defense dynamically matches the attack, making it a much harder target to crack.
So, this all sounds fantastic in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Well, the researchers put this entire framework to the test against a massive dataset of real cyber attacks. Let's take a look at how it did.
The results are, frankly, incredible. When they tested it, the AI model was able to spot and classify incoming threats with a staggering 96.8% accuracy. And to put that number into perspective for you, out of all the different attacks they threw at it, we're talking phishing, spoofing, you name it, the AI correctly identified the specific type of threat nearly 97 times out of 100. That level of foresight is a total game changer.
This chart really drives the point home. You can see how the new model stacks up against other standard AI models. The proposed hybrid approach isn't just a little bit better, it's clearly superior. It represents a major leap forward in our ability to accurately predict these attacks.
When you step back, what this research really represents is a fundamental shift in how we think about security.
We're moving away from that old idea of a static, fixed wall, and we're moving toward a dynamic, intelligent defense that can react to threats in real time.
And really, it's the combination that's the secret sauce. The true power here comes from bringing these three pillars together: the sheer strength of multi-factor authentication, the incredible foresight of AI prediction, and the resilience of a truly adaptive defense. So, this leaves us with one final, critical question to think about. As cyber threats get smarter and more sophisticated every day, can we really afford to keep relying on static walls? Or is the future of our security a living defense, a system that thinks, predicts, and adapts faster than anyone trying to break in?